Hello, friends that like nail art. Welcome to Pride Nails. We're going to be doing some fun rainbow stuff with Holo Taco's holographic rainbow set. This one is a little older, but it is still available as far as I know on Holo Taco's site. I do really love their polishes. They have great polishes. We are going to start with a background color, and many of you might be thinking, why is she using yellow? I am using yellow because it is a mid-tone. And just like when you're painting on a canvas, you need a mid-tone as a background, and then you can pull up the other colors on top of it. But if you go with a darker color, it's harder to put that lighter color on. This is just me having finished that part, and now I am going into putting some paints out on my palette. The paint just literally consists of the colors I just showed you, which are all in that collection. And I'm making a set in front of me that I can just play with so that I'm not drying out my polishes by leaving them open. And I'm going to start by painting on my red, which is a lovely shade, by the way. Holographic reds I feel like are really difficult to find, but this one is truly like kind of a cherry red color, which is lovely. And we're going to go in and just start swooping. All right, we are going to do 3 different versions of this nail. So they are all rainbow, but they're all different. So one is going at about a 45-degree angle, I think that is. The other is a straight up and down stripe. And the last one is a swoop across the nail, so like a half moon kind of a shape. I really enjoyed making this set. I had a lot of fun doing these different designs. You could certainly use one as a focal nail. You could do a 2, like a ring finger and a pointer finger, to make it a little bit more exciting if you wanted. And if you obviously wanted to go all the way, you could do all 10 nails, which would be a lot, but also a lot of fun. So just depending what you got going on. Holo Taco is a polish that does dry very quickly, so you will see me add more color to my palette a couple of times. And what am I doing? What I'm doing is 2 coats of each color. So I started with that yellow as my background. That's the only one that I won't repeat a second coat of. And then I am bringing down my colors first to get a nice straight line, and letting it dry for a minute, and then going back both to neaten it up and also to add a second coat of that polish so that there's no see-through and I get full opacity or full coverage. They're really easy to do, but they do take a little bit of time when you're doing them on the nails. If you're doing more than one, obviously. If you're doing one focal nail, it's really a quick, easy 5-minute nail art. If you're doing something that is more involved where you're doing 2 nails, or if you're doing all 10, you definitely want to have some extra time to do it. One of the things that I have done in the past is use striping tape, or even using Scotch tape on the nail in between each layer so that I get a really, really precise line. But I also just really like the look of a hand-painted nail, right? And a hand-painted nail is not 100% perfect. That's what makes it beautiful, is that it is, a little hand-painted. It's not machined, if you will. But you could do it in any of those ways. The one thing is that you have to make sure that undercoat is 100% dry. Otherwise, you will end up pulling it up and it will be a big mess, and that won't be a lot of fun. So right now I'm going in with my yellow. And I will do just 1 coat of this because I already have the coat underneath. And then as we move into the darker colors, I won't worry too much about my first line. I'm always worried about my second line where the next color is going to come in. I'm not as worried about, because the darker the color as we're going down the spectrum, the easier it is to just, clean up that line on the other side with that next darker color. I am cleaning my brush off in between each color so that I'm not dragging one color into another. And that keeps it nice and clean and keeps it from getting muddy. So you will notice that as I'm going through, I do take some time to really get that first line nice and straight before I color in that stripe or that band. It just makes your work much easier on the other side. When you go to put that second coat on, you don't have to get as close to that edge. I apologize for my nails that I know look a little trashed at the moment. I had recorded, I don't know, 3 or 4 sets of nail art on that day. And so by the end of the day, I was wearing a lot of different colors on my sea glass polish. So I actually still have not changed those yet because I'm recording the voiceovers just shortly after I did these. So I will have to fix that up, however. So apologize for my own nails. Just ignore those for now. We're down to the last 2, so we're going to add our blue and then our purple, and we will top the whole thing with the Holo Toco's Glossy Toco, which is a thicker viscosity than most nail polish top coats. It does stay shiny for a nice long time. I'm not a salesperson for a Holo Toco, by the way. Maybe I should be, though. I do love their stuff. But the viscosity is nice and thick, so it works really well for topping and smoothing the look of a lot of nail art. And also like I said, it stays shiny for quite a while, so it's excellent that way. The top coat also dries very quickly and very effectively. You don't get that blotchiness where you've got some areas that are drier than others. It tends to dry very straight on and clean, which is also really nice. So we'll top all of them off with that glossy top coat at the end, and I think you'll be able to see really how glossy that really looks. If you're doing these in the salon, I don't know if I said this earlier, but it takes like 3 to 5 minutes probably to do one nail well. So it's a quick nail art in some regards, and also a longer nail art. You definitely want to have some time if you're going to do this on more than one nail. And we're going to go in with our last color, purple, and just clean that up. If you're wondering about the brush I'm using, I am actually using a Wildflowers. It's an ink brush, I believe, but I use it for all kinds of things, not just ink, obviously. It's got a nice sable set of bristles that are not too thick but not too thin, so it works really well for doing this kind of banding work where you're layering in multiple colors. And if you are tempted to leave now, don't leave now, because the sneak peek is at the end. I have some fantastic 4th of July nails coming up. I actually am going to do 3 sets. Do like a little mini collection for 4th of July. And then I also have some other fun summer things coming. Like I said, I got a little crazy the other day. I went a little wild with the nail art. I got some new glitters in and some different things, and that just makes everything spicy. And there we have it. I'm going to clean off my palette, and we're going to top coat those and go in for a final picture. There's the glossy Toco. You can kind of see in the image right now, like how thick that really is. It's a nice, thick, really shiny top coat. The other beautiful thing about doing this type of work is when you get the top coat, much like an ombre, once you get the top coat on, it really kind of settles everything and gets rid of any lines and little, stripes or things that may have come up when you were polishing. So it smooths everything over. And there you have it. We are done, and we are shiny and beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this set, and I look forward to having you tag along with me for the next set. Don't forget, the sneak peek is at the end. Bye-bye.